World of Shadow Puppetry by Maggie. Shadow puppets may sound just like a fun show, but it really caused cultures to diffuse in the Silk Roads. World cultures. Shadow puppets originated in Huashen. Huashen is located in China. It is 80 miles east of Xi'an. The emperor's wife died of illness. The emperor missed her so much that he lost desire to reign over China. A couple of days later, a minister saw some children playing with dolls, and he saw their shadows on the ground. This inspired the minister to make puppets called shadow puppets. When it came close to nighttime, the minister invited the emperor to a shadow puppet show. The emperor came to the event and became very pleased. From then on, he went to many more shadow puppet shows and was happy for the rest of his life. People who perform shadow puppet shows are called puppeteers. They study the art form for a month to gain basic knowledge, and it takes a year to learn multiple plays and techniques. Earlier in history, it could take a year just to learn the basic techniques. Now it is easier and faster to become mostly fluent in the art. A puppeteer is a person who must be very skilled. They have to not only know how to manipulate a puppet, but learn 60 plays at one time. The art of Chinese shadow puppetry is a form of theater acted out by the puppets, shadows, and accompanied by music and singing. The puppets are manipulated by puppeteers using rods. The figures create the illusion of moving by having their shadows displayed on a translucent screen. The essential elements of shadow puppetry are the puppets themselves, the control, the screen, and the light. The shadow puppets were first made of paper, then later on they made them out of leather and donkey and oxen hides. This is where they got the name Shadow of Hides. Shadow puppets are made with great detail. Some puppets took over 6 months to create. Shadow puppetry originated during the Han Dynasty's reign. Shadow puppets were created more than 2,000 years ago. The first purpose was to entertain the emperor, to make him forget about his wife who passed away. Then they became used for entertainment in China. Some theaters in China still show shadow puppet plays today. The number of shows are decreasing due to lack of interest. Nowadays, shadow puppet plays are typically used for special occasions such as weddings, reunions, and funerals. They are used for festivals to show cultural history and values to the youth and remind the elders of the old times too. Shadow puppets originated in Huashen. This location is about 80 miles east of Xi'an. The shadow puppet shows were originally done in China and still are done in China today. Other places in the world started using shadow puppet plays. Other countries started to tweak shadow plays to their culture by adding props and backgrounds to the scenes to fit their culture. Some of the countries that shadow puppetry has diffused to are Taiwan, France, India, Indonesia, Malaysia, Cambodia, and Thailand. Shadow puppets was a way for a culture to remind themselves of important events and for culture's elders to remind themselves of old times. Shadow puppetry first started in China but quickly diffused to Southeastern Asia and some European countries. The countries changed little things to the original shadow puppetry to fit their culture. In the picture are shadow puppets from India. Shadow puppets are important because they have kept each culture's roots. Elders will go to shadow puppet shows to remind themselves of old times. During special times or celebrations, families will do shadow puppetry. Shadow puppetry has also diffused to a lot of different countries.